All right, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch the movie, the French film, The Lift. Let's check it out. All right, this is The Lift. The Lift, or as what we call them here, elevators. And these people are getting on it. Something happens, though, to the people inside there. It gets like really hot or something, and these people almost suffocate. Lack of air. I'm not even sure exactly what's going on. But they survive. So they bring in this guy, Felix. He's an elevator repairman.
Last party. I'll phone the super. He's been asking about you.
What's wrong with the lift this morning?
It wasn't serious. I think it was only a short circuit.
But some people almost choked to death.
That's his family.
Yeah, they just come out of the restaurant. I suppose it could have been one
His
they
kids
ate.
are there too. This is a blind man. He's heading towards the lift.
You know your way to the lift, Mr. Fick.
Don't worry about me. I can find it by myself.
But it's clear there's a problem with the lift. And this dude gets his head stuck in it. Which really sucks when the elevator starts to come down.
I double-checked all your main electrical circuits.
Yes. You see, I told you he was good.
That's the most likely place for a failure to begin. But I couldn't find anything wrong. It's functioning normally.
Too bad we can't say the same about the victims.
Profound.
Yeah.
Here's a reporter that kind of picks up on the story. I forget her name, but she's kind of pretty. Milky is her name.
Oh, is this your family? Your wife?
This little girl's mom is making out with some dude, so she's wandering around. And she's found our killer elevators. They appear to be toying with her. Will she fall in?
You're wearing black underwear.
Just for you.
Why did you scream? What have you been up to?
The girl's okay, but the
Look
doll
what you've done
isn't.
to your doll. Rat!
I guess she's not okay
Come
either
with me.
now.
You're always in a mischief.
Felix goes to a nut house.
He sits in the middle of a room every day. Seems he has a fear of walls.
It happens. He knows something about the elevator.
Brooker, you've been working on that lift for quite a while. Who took the book? People have been killed. You must tell me what you know.
Felix spots a van with the word Rising Sun on the side. It's some sort of corporation that is doing, well, they're doing no good is what they're doing. Felix and Milky try to find some information about Rising Sun.
Can you make anything of it?
They're one of the largest multinational companies as far as electronics are concerned. Do you know that?
A busybody friend of Felix's family.
It's Felix. Hey. He's with another woman. I knew it. I knew he had a girlfriend. That no good shit. Come on. What's your
So
name?
they decide to try to meet the
Adar, Felix
owner of Rising Sun, the CEO.
The appointment was made by phone this morning to see Mr. Crone, the head of our research department.
They don't learn much.
I only understand a little about electronic layouts myself, but couldn't something have gone wrong?
Mr. Adelaide, surely you know we install electronic installations all over the world.
The busybody got to Felix's wife.
An expert?
Don't act so dumb. Somebody told me about that woman, the bitch. I didn't believe them, so I called the factory and asked to speak to you. They told me you've been out the whole afternoon.
What are you talking about?
You were having a good time with another woman, that's what.
It's a misunderstanding. She's a journalist.
That's nice. Wonderful. She goes to school on the side. Now finish up. That's it. Papa's friend is expecting him real soon.
It began to go off, all on its own, totally.
A professor tells them about Rising Sun is making some sort of computer chips made out of organic material.
Initiating its own brain patterns. It began making its own programs. It got completely out of control and couldn't be stopped. These chips of protein lost control and reproduced themselves over and over again. the computer began to create its own chips.
It began to grow.
The unsuspecting janitor. And the unsuspecting patron who gets blood dripped on him. From the janitor.
You should have been fired.
He gets
You
suspended
didn't even call us up to explain. You just took off yesterday afternoon, and to make matters
For
worse,
poking
you had the
around.
nerve to pay a visit to one of our business associates behind my back and criticize him.
Felix goes home after getting suspended and finding that his wife has taken their kids and gone elsewhere. He doesn't seem overly fazed by it, though.
Finds out will be disastrous.
Nobody will find out.
Yeah, my repairmen are extremely suspicious. I should never have listened to you.
Undaunted, Felix goes back to the lift anyway, because he wants to figure out what the hell's going on. At one point, he throws a chair in. Doesn't like him. He decides to go in anyway and climbs up into the shaft. Remember those organic chips that we were talking about? This one has one. That's basically the heart of the lift. The lift tries to attack him, and he tries to attack the lift's heart. Milky, the reporter, shows up just in time to save him. The Rising Sun guy shows up with a gun and shoots the elevator. But then the elevator grabs him with its cables, drags him in, and hangs him to death. As our credits roll and our survivors walk away, we hear a heartbeat. Is it part of the movie soundtrack, or is it the lift? We'll never know. All right, let's talk about this movie, The Lift. Now, this is a movie I've never seen before until today. I'm not even sure why I have it. I think must have been reading about something this a few weeks ago, and just out of curiosity, looked it up on eBay to see if anybody released it. And sure enough, Blue Underground, right? Yeah, Blue Underground released this thing, and I decided to watch it for a while, and then the seller offered me a deal. I think I paid like $16 for it, which, looking at the other auctions or listings, it seems like it's a pretty good deal. But anyway, the movie itself, I believe it's a French-made film. It was dubbed into English, and I think this was released on VHS in this country, although I never saw it in any of my video stores. It's about a sentient elevator that is killing people. At the beginning of the movie, it almost suffocates several people. By the way, there was a weird scene in that opening scene where this couple was almost having sex in the elevator with other people in the elevator. Anyway, I digress. They almost suffocated. They had some bad air. It got really hot in there. Later on, it decapitates somebody. It gets them stuck in the door, and then it comes down and knocks his head off. That was a cool scene. There's an elevator repairman who comes over. His name is Felix. That's our main hero in this movie. He can't find anything wrong with these elevators, doesn't know what's going on, but he's very curious about it. He hooks up with this reporter who also helps him try to figure this out, and they end up finding some place called Rising Sun. It's they are trying to, I don't know what they're doing, but they have some sort of connection to these elevators. Then they talk to this professor who tells them that there's some sort of microchips that people are trying to create that are like made out of organic material, and then they're like multiplying and reproducing themselves and becoming sentient in some sort. So they somehow surmise that perhaps some of these microchips are in this elevator because Rising Sun is making these organic microchips, I guess, and they're the ones who, I guess, install the elevators. But the elevators apparently are, yes, sentient, and I don't know why they're murderous, but they are. Eventually, Felix's wife leaves him with their kids because she thinks he's having an affair with that reporter, which he's not. He doesn't seem to be overly concerned about it, though. But anyway, he still hangs out with this reporter and tries to figure out what's going on. They talk to somebody at Rising Sun. Then he gets suspended from his job for doing that. Eventually, he goes back on his own to the elevators and basically he climbs up the elevator shaft and finds a heart, I guess you could call it, some sort of gooey sentient thing, and then he attacks it with a wrench. Then the elevator attacks him, and he almost dies, but then the reporter shows up and rescues him at the last second. The owner of Rising Sun, I think it was, came over then and then shot the elevator heart with a gun, but then the elevator reacted by taking this cable and grabbing him and pulling him into the shaft and hanging him till he was dead, choked to death. And then the movie ends, but the very last scene as the credits rolling, we hear the heart beating again. Or was that part of the soundtrack? I guess I don't know for sure. But anyway, that is The Lift. So one brief nude scene, I think. That was that opening scene with the woman in the elevator who didn't mind her boobs hanging out in front of everybody. A cool decapitation scene. Not a lot of murder or not a lot of killing in this movie. Not a lot of blood. But I actually kind of enjoyed this movie. It's strange that I never came across this movie or watched it ever growing up. But yeah, it was kind of an enjoyable little flick. I've read some reviews about it. They think there's some humor interspersed within the film. I didn't really detect that at all. But it was just a kind of a typical film where there was a lot of 80s movies like that where something just became sentient and killed. Like Christine, for example. Kind of a similar take, but instead of a car, we have an elevator. It came out the same year, in 1983. Anyway, that's it. Again, Blu-ray was put out by Blue Underground. It's a Blu-ray DVD combo. Not a bad little flick. I'm curious if anybody else has watched it. So check it out. Leave some comments and know what you think about it. And I'll leave a link down below to Amazon if you want to buy it yourself. And you should. Check it out. Watch it. Bye. Click that link.